Okay, good afternoon all. Hope everyone is alive and kicking. It is the 8th of June, Thursday. Weeks are going, weeks are flying. So let's see what we got in this morning, or this afternoon for me. Indy, how you doing, buddy? SW Blaze, good morning. Timothy, good morning. JP, how you doing? Roll Daddy, what's up, traders? Speedy, how you doing, bud? So I hope everyone's okay. Now, we've had some news this morning, 1:30 UK time, which didn't really do anything. Now, I've been looking at this. Now, I took that trade, but it went down quickly, came back up and went a bit sideways, so I got out for break even. It would have made 2 points, but by the time I set my take profit at 3 points, and by the time it came down, it started coming back up, and this is really the bottom. I like to think it's coming down. There is liquidity down here at 68, but it is respecting this, so it just made me a bit nervous. So I thought, just get out for break even. So I did that. So it's a bit confused. I'm looking at Bookmap at the moment. There's lots of areas liquidity up here, up here, up here, up here. It's a bit confusing today. So until it sort of moves in a direction or something, it's stuck around the middle at the moment. It's hard to know exactly what to do. So Penguin Trader is great. He is very good. He reads that chart like a book as far as I'm concerned. I watch his in fact, what did he do? Did he have a loss yesterday, didn't he? I like the fact that he shows his losses as well, because we're all human and we all make them. A lot of people don't, but he does, and I respect that. But I like him a lot, I do. I always watch his chart analysis and what trades he took, and he's very good. It's just a damn shame, really, he doesn't trade live or doesn't stream live, because if he did, I'd be very tempted to watch him myself. But he is good, and I do like the fact. The trouble is, the thing is, if you read the markets well, markets move. They really move. There's lots more profit, and if you know how to read the markets well, you can take much more advantage of the profit. So that's my long-term goal, to be able to take bigger moves, maybe 2 to 1, something like that. It depends. Sometimes he'll go 1 to 1, sometimes he'll go 2 to 1. But what if you watch him enough, what he'll do, if let's say, for instance, you're going along here, or let's say you're going along here, he won't automatically put his order above there. He'll let it move a bit first and see how it reacts. Because a lot of the time when you get trapped, it'll tick up or two and come down and take you out. Well, if you drop a market order then, or drop a limit order when it ticks above it, you're in that trade. But it gives it a little bit of time to start seeing what it does. And I like that. It makes sense. And I did that on one of my trades, I think the day before yesterday, and it worked nice. But usually, if it's going to trap you, it'll do it relatively quick. And you can get a feel for what it's doing. So I like the way he does that. So as far as I'm concerned, if someone's a good trader, I don't care who they are, they're on my radar. There's some, surround yourself by people you want to be like. That's the way I'm thinking about things. If he's good at something, then he's, I want to follow him and find out what he does and learn how he does it, because he's a good trader. So who have we got in? Who else we got in? Ralph Wolf, good morning, lads. Traders. And the long sought after setup here's tack, absolutely. Ryan, how you doing? Kirk, how you doing, mate? Yeah, Gov, Penguin Trade. Yeah, he is good. Yeah, if anybody doesn't watch the Penguin, watch him. He does it. He has got a Discord, I think. You got to pay, but there's nothing live in it. That's the only sort of downside. Okay, so we've got these sort of couple of attempts. We've had this channel. We've got these couple of attempts to go higher. So usually that indicates maybe another leg. The trouble is, prices holding on that midline, so I'm a little bit nervous about going south. Market opens in about now. So I would say it's likely we're going to have another leg, my personal opinion, just because we've had a couple of attempts to go higher, but I don't like the fact that there's this bottom. Hey, how you doing, buddy? Rodian, good morning to you, mate. So yeah, liquidity is a bit spread out a bit, so it's a bit hard to read. But the trouble is, this is sort of the bottom at the moment, so people are going to be going long, because normally when you'd have a channel and a couple of attempts to go higher, then buyers would give up and we tend to go down. But I'm a little bit unsure what's going on though, because that is the bottom. So whether we are just working in this or whether it's going to push down into this area again, I don't know at the moment. It's a bit hard to say. The bottom is the same range from yesterday. Yeah, it is actually, isn't it? So yeah, it's risky going short into that, really, isn't it? You know, although we got a channel, usually if we have a couple of attempts to go high, usually we'll have another leg, and it looks, you know, like that type of pattern. But because of all this this resistance here, it's a bit risky in my opinion. It may well go down. It possibly will, but same again. We've got a bit of a bear flag. So I would expect if you get a decent bar to go down, but it may just go down to this area again. I don't know. See, there's liquidity up here. Sell orders up here. There's some at 77, so it's hard to say. We may be going back up here. I don't know at the moment. JP holding trend line of the lows. Yeah, absolutely. It's hard to know what to do. It's congested, isn't it? You can just got to stay out of that, really. I kind of went a different direction from watching other traders. I watch Mac, your stream, and spent the other time studying my charts, trend lines and trades. Just my 2 cents has made I kind of went a different direction from watching other traders. I watch Mac, you stream. Yeah, that's what we do, I think. I think most of the people on this stream follow Mac. I'd say a good amount of them anyway. But yeah, that's what we all do, I think. We'll just, you know, what I do is the Facebook group that a lot of us are part of. I look at people like Jopes. There's 4 or 5 guys on there. There's Jope, there's Marco. There's a few other guys on there. There's another one of the mediators. I've spoken to him before. I think he's from Norway or something. I look at their charts, compare them to mine. I look at Mac's chart, compare them to mine, and other streamers as well, especially the Penguin guy. And then I just work out, you know, where was I right, where was I wrong, and then you move on, don't you? But what I find is, and I mentioned this yesterday, if you've ever been on a journey somewhere, and you may have been somewhere to a town or a city 5 years ago, you know, just driving through it, and you happen to go that way again, sometimes something can seem familiar. There's something about it. And that's what I find. Sometimes I stay out of trade. Something seems familiar. And if you lose a trade sometimes, that little pattern, there's so much information that goes in your brain, that little pattern that, you know, you got into last time can sometimes trigger those little memories. I remember this. And obviously, when you lose something, it has a little bit of a psychological effect on you to a degree, doesn't it? So sometimes I can see something set up and I think, I don't like this, something doesn't feel right. And when I do that, in most cases, it's the right decision. So the more time you spend looking at charts, the more time you keep, you know, studying and trading day after day, sooner or later, things will start to make a bit more sense. It's like anything. You'll just get better at it the more you do it. You can't help but get better at it. And like Mac and every other trader says, screen time. The more time you are looking at the screens, looking at patterns, taking trades, you know, having losses and learning from them, and you know, you'll just get better and better. So I'm just wondering, yeah, that's why I made the right decision to not get involved there, because something didn't. I looked at that, so I took it. But I took it a couple of ticks below, and then it started going a bit sideways, and I'm thinking, oh, I didn't like it. So I ended up coming out for break even. So it was the right decision, really. I mean, if price had have come from top to bottom, I'd have jumped on all over that. Tried a bunch of times to go higher, pushed down strongly, came back, ticked above the EMA, pushed down. A bar like that, really, especially if we've got this distances, I'll be all over that. But because of the midline, and it's clearly using that midline, and I think as Whoop mentioned, it's doing the same along here, isn't it? Or near as, so it's obviously some resistance there. So hence I got out of that, and I don't mind getting out of it. I don't mind getting in a trade, and then if I have second thoughts getting out of it, I've got no problem with that. Better if you have second thoughts to get out for break even rather than stay in the chart if something doesn't feel right. And I'm aware, let me have a look, there's some liquidity up here, so I think we're going up. I'm aware that sometimes when I first get on the chart and I switch the computer on, I get that little tingle in my belly, that little nervous, excited, and I know sometimes I can get a bit trigger happy, as soon as that chart opens. So I've just got to try and be a little bit wary, and I thought that might have been a moment, so I got out break even. So no harm, no foul. So there you go. Hey Sam, how you doing, buddy? Stefan, how you doing? So there's lots of liquidity. In fact, there's lots above and below. Now that might just indicate we haven't had many real range days, have we? We've had that big push down. We've had one leg up, another push down. We've had quite a lot of movement lately, and we've had quite a lot of up stuff. Quite a lot of uptrends. It's just forever seems to be going up lately. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see. There's definitely there's some strong liquidity around the 71.72, which is here, which is around about this bottom then. So, and they're buy orders. So obviously if prices come down here, and based on what we can see here, people are going to be buying. And the sell orders are 78, which is at the top. And there's some at 82 and 85 up here, just in case we get up. But that's indicating to me that buyers are here and sellers are here, which usually the way it goes in a range day. I'm okay, Stefan. I'm not too bad at all. I'm in a good place at the moment. I've got 3 PA accounts. I had one PA account get a little over $4,000, and I've applied for a payment and it's been approved. So just the fact that I've got some money coming in, it's just a nice feeling. And yesterday, although I didn't take any trade, was the most relaxed trading day I think I've had in a long while. I seem to be... Now, there's 2 ways of experience emotions, in my opinion. When you take a trade you believe to be a good one, there's a certain emotion. And when you take a trade that you know is a bad one, but you're trying to cut corners. Now, the latter, I feel sick. It's a horrible feeling, and I feel sick, and I hate the feeling. Now, I've had enough of it. Now, to take a trade when your accounts are looking good and you believe it to be a good trade, it's a nice kind of stress, or you know what I'm saying? So I'm starting to hate the latter and enjoy the stability a little bit more. I spent so many times jumping in and hitting the buy and sell button, and then literally it's like you're walking on a tightrope. Please go down, please go up, 2 more ticks, 3 more ticks, scrappily getting ticks trying to build an account. And I've had enough of it. I've had enough of cutting corners. I've had enough of jumping in. It makes me feel sick, physically sick. It's a horrible feeling. And you get this powerful thing take over, and it's starting to go up, and you'll go a buy, or you'll hit buy 3 times. And as soon as you do, it starts to come down. It's a horrible feeling, and I've had enough of it. I've literally added up to here, which is a good thing now. I'm starting to make better decisions. The day before, was it Friday? I think it was Friday. I was down about $400 on the day. And it's the first time I haven't gone back in the evening and tried to win it back. I'm starting to just literally follow the rules, because I'm realising it does not work. All the blown accounts, all the bending the rules, all the taking stupid risks are just screwing me into the ground. They're depressing me. And I can't do it anymore. So I think finally I might have broken through that wall. I'm not going to say too much, touch wood, just in case I jinx myself, but I've just had enough of doing it the wrong way and cutting corners. And the last day or 2, I felt much better. The evenings have been more relaxed, because I was getting depressed and I was snappy with people, and it's a horrible feeling. But it's part of the trading, especially the learning process. Hey Chris, how you doing, mate? Hey Lance and all, how you doing, buddy? Sania, good morning. Rodian, good to hear, Lance. Myself, I'm trying to recover from the tilt last week. Yeah, it's horrible, mate, isn't it? I lost to my 7PA account. It's horrible. After the copy glitch. What copy are you using, incidentally? Is it the Apex one? Trading Eval's place. Yeah, it's a horrible feeling, mate. I know exactly how you feel. But the fact that you've got 7, you've still got 5 left, is okay. That's doable. It's recoverable. But it is a horrible feeling. But I think after a while, you just get that sick of feeling the feeling that you get on tilt. Yes. 4525 is confirmed target. Let's make time. So you think we're going down to 45? Oh, 45. 45. I think we're going up. That's quite high, isn't it? 45. It's confirmed target. 45. You got that right? That's up here somewhere. 4525. I'll tell you something. It'd be nice to have a 80-point runner or something. 4525. You got that right, bud, have you? Hey, Lance. Good luck today, mate. Thank you, Nick Ross. Good luck to you, my friend. Thanks for that. Always nice if the gods are smiling on you. It's the Apex copy. Yeah, that's why I went over to Replicanto. You get regular updates with Replicanto. They're a software firm. They specialise in it. They're constantly looking into it. I don't think Apex do. I've never had an upgrade from Apex. But what I will say is I used to get a lot more problems taking stock market orders. I always use limit orders now, and I get a lot less problems. So all you've got to be aware is if after the trade's triggered, whether you've been stopped out, whether you've made profit, always make sure any orders or positions are closed. What I tend to do now, I right-click there and click cancel all orders in the orders, and right-click there and just check flatten everything. I automatically do that now after every trade, just to be on the safe side. So if you don't take limit orders, see there's market orders, isn't there? So if let's say for instance,
order
if I'm going to buy here, I'll put that one tick. I don't use them anymore.
Order
I use
canceled.
limit orders.
Order
and I
submitted.
find the good thing about limit orders is if
Order
you
canceled.
drop it in there, you know, sometimes with a market order, you'll drop, then it'll kick you out and you've got to right click and do it all again. Doesn't do that with limit orders. It just sits there until it's triggered. And I find I get a lot less problems with limit orders. So that's just my opinion. So take it or leave it, but it definitely has less problems. Okay, so we've got a leg down, possible another leg down. That would take us to around the middle line, which is where we seem to be bouncing from. Let's have a look at that. Near as we had a little push below it there, but I would say, based on what I can see, we're probably going to have another leg down. I'll prefer a lower high though. What have I missed? Yeah, I put ridiculously aggressive trade to an eval without noticing it. Was the lead? Oh yeah, done that. I check and double check now. I do. I check what PA account's there, that I'm trading that one, and I check that it's my lead account, and I check all the others. I check it and double check it even before every trading day. Even if I've changed nothing since yesterday, check it and double check it, just in case. You will make mistakes like that, but the costly ones you'll less likely remember. You'll less likely forget them. So in the Apex, yeah, the Apex one, just I'm not a fan of it. I paid $150 for it, $150. Now, if you do go on to the Replicanto one, it's $150, but I've got a 10% off thing. So if you do decide to it, that'll give you 10% off it. But try limit orders first. If you don't take limit orders, the stop orders. Because sometimes if you drop an order, be it the signal bar, just as the market hits that point, it'll kick it out. Doesn't do that with limit orders. It'll just sit there until it either comes, till it goes up and hits it, or down and hits it. So personally, that looks like one leg, two legs, but it's a little bit congested around the middle of this top section. So I'm leaving alone there really, and there's no real setup in, honestly. Look, I don't really have any complaints. Absolutely. If you got no worries with it, then carry on with it. It was my own. Fair enough. Yeah. But remember that about limit orders. I find I have a lot less problems with them. One leg, two leg. Okay, that's almost played out. No, now it has. Nice measured leg. Trouble is, there's nowhere in there. There's 3 bars a little bit back to back, and I'm a little uncertain what's going on. But it did what I thought it might do. Let's have a look. Sanya down target. Okay, I got you. Let's pump it. May push up. Nasdaq also around 1390. JW Yeah, surprise when he came to trend did a second. Delete 42.85 critical level. I'd say so. 42.85. That's up here, isn't it? Critical level 85. Let's make that red. Critical level. Critical level. Try type shit it's the fan on top of it. We'll leave it like that. Yes. Above this only by. Yeah, okay. So at the moment, we're clearly just ranging, and for the first time in a long time, it's actually, when it goes up, it's hitting the same spot more or less, which is not always the case. I remember when I first started trading, with Mac 2 years ago, and I remember watching one of his videos saying he loves range days because all he does is shorts the top and buys the bottom. Well, that's okay if every time it hits the top, it's hitting in the same place, but it doesn't always do that. Sometimes it's here, sometimes it's up here, sometimes it's here. So look, I don't often see Mac endorsing a counter trend. No, he doesn't really. If it's a big channel, then yeah, sometimes he will go short in certain areas. But bearing in mind, Mac only scalps for a point, so I suppose realistically, but yeah, counter trend trading. I avoid counter trend trading, even if I can see something might work just out of principle. It's just a safe bet to take. Okay, some strong liquidity at 65, which is just below here, which tells me there's some buy orders down there. So we've clearly broken this area now. So it was bouncing off the midline up until this point. So let's see how it reacts down here. That's what we were talking about, the live Mac posted yesterday. We were talking about the live trade. Oh, I didn't say it. The trouble is, in the UK, it's about 1 o'clock in the morning usually. Now, if I wake up at night sometimes, I'll go downstairs and watch it on the computer downstairs. But I didn't last night. I might have watched literally a few seconds of it on my phone in bed. I can't remember. I was probably half asleep, but I will have another look later. Thanks for that, Jay. I'll have a look. Okay, so let's get some of these liquidity lines down here. Okay, so some strong liquidity around about 65, which is just here. So whether that's, I'm guessing, because they're buy orders now, if you sell up here, you sort of buy out of the trade here, don't you? So obviously people are getting out just before the lows. But then there's some at 63 and 61, so they might be buying to go up. So, but there is some strong liquidity there, so this may possibly be, let's have a look, channel, break, we can get up here. See, it's 65, 66, a lot of orders down here, so below here. So if we can get a decent setup here, I may be interested in that. Got to be a bit careful because we've been going sideways in this section. Now this could potentially just be a failed breakout. I like the channel. Let's see what we get here. That's too far away for me. If I'm going to go short, it wants to be a bar that just sings to me. He took a second entry long in a downtrend with a second entry short just before the entry. On the odd occasion, he does. But I think what you've got to realise with Mac is he's been doing it for 28 years and, you know. But yes, I've seen him do it on big channels maybe. Okay, so we've got a channel down here. Now, the trouble is, now there's lots of liquidity around about the 66, which is down here, which tells me we may get... Now, do I take that or not? It's a big old bar, isn't it?
Order submitted.
See if it triggers. I'm not a fan of it, to be fair. If I'm going to go short that close to the bottom, I want it to push there, and so I want that red top of the body to sit there with the stem above it. It might be okay. To be honest with you, it's actually a third entry because that is higher than that. Although, it's sort of visually a second entry, if you like, isn't it? But what I am aware of is it is a possibility that we've had this short-term trend channel and there's a break and a new low, so it may trigger some shorts and push up. So I'm going to leave that there just to be on the safe side. And the reason I think it will come down a bit more is because of the liquidity down here. Once it's so far down, but see how it's... I think we took that inside bar anyway, but it may have broken a new low. So this, you could call it, the trouble is, once we've respected this line so many times, you may call this a failed breakout. Because regardless of what happened here, it's clearly moving in this direction now, and based on what I can see there, going up. Fortunately, it never triggered, but I'd say we're going up now. There is still a lot of liquidity, so that's making me a bit nervous. It is a failure, that. New low, well, no. If I'm a bit uncertain, which I am, I'm probably going to leave this alone. If I was going to take a trade, it'd be a tick above there. I'm tempted to take a trade there, I really am, but it's quite a big bar, that. There's still a lot of liquidity, that's what's making me nervous. And there is some sellers at 71. Might be okay. It's actually... It's actually a fourth. And there's the failure there. Anybody take that now? It's just making me a bit nervous, that's all. Now if I took that, my arse would be shaking now. So that looks like one leg, two legs. I'm tempted to take that.
Order filled.
Let's just come out with this liquidity somehow. 66, 67, 68. Let's come out for a couple of points. It's really bearish. It looks like one leg up, two legs up to me. I'm just going to go for 2 points. It's bigger risk than I wanted, to be fair. 68. It's not as big as I thought. To get below there. Actually, 2 points I want is there. Liquidity is at 65 down here, so I'd say we're likely to push down.
Order filled.
Beautiful. Okay, you can't deny that. Okay, everything's shut. Okay, one leg up, two clear legs up. Lovely big bearish bar. You can't argue with that one. Let's have a look. Everything's looking nice. I took it, yeah. Trouble is, I did that as a short-term trend just to be on the safe side, and I thought I'll see how it goes. But I'd say there's going to be some longs trapped there because it's a well, yeah, apart from this, really, if you forget that, it's a failure. And I very nearly took it. I very nearly took it. But Bookmap saved me again. You know why? Because I knew there was some strong liquidity. And it's the liquidity down here is closer to this bar than the liquidity up here. So that stopped me from going long. Now, after we've had a break and this new low, and we've broken out of this top range, Normally, I'd have probably taken that because that was the only, I'd have preferred that to be triggered, but I'd have probably taken that. But because I know this liquidity is down here, it stopped me from taking that trade. And then fortunately, we had a lovely big bearish bar and that clearly went down. So happy days. So thanks, Mark. How are you, mate? Mark White in there, everyone. If you want to know what this is the one-click trader. That's Mark's baby. So if you are interested in it, there's a link in the description to all my videos if you're interested in that. It does make life easier and somewhat quicker. And I've only really scratched the surface. There's so many ways of using this, but you know, the style I use, I don't take full advantage, but it is quick for getting orders. It's very quick for sort of
orders submitted. Orders submitted.
Getting rid of them quick. And
order cancelled.
Do your market orders.
Order submitted.
Below and get rid of them. There's loads of
canceled.
stuff you can do. I tend to stick to the limit orders, but there's all sorts of stuff you can do. So if you are interested in that, the description is in the bottom of all my videos. So there we go. So okay, so we're in one trade. So $200 on 3 accounts. So that's $600 just gone into my account. So happy days. That's a nice start. You can't argue with that one. How much did it go for? So you wouldn't have quite taken 4 points at it. I come out 2 points. Reason being is what I've found sometimes with this strong liquidity, people tend to come out a little bit earlier. And I think it's always safer. And I took that probably about 3 ticks below it. As you can see, it started moving pretty quick, but I didn't want to miss it, and I pretty much knew it was going to beat these bottoms. And even here, there was comfortably 2 points in it. Nice job. Thanks, Chris. I appreciate that, mate. Thanks, Indy. Thank you, Rodian. It's nice to get off to a nice start, isn't it? So, yeah, that's the beauty of PA accounts. I've got 3 of them. There's $600 gone into my PA accounts. If you've got 10 accounts, you'd have just put $2,000 into them. If you've got 20 accounts, you can do the maths, can't you? You'd have had $4,000 now, and measly. If you've got 10 accounts, and that's what Marco does. Marco goes for 1 trade, 6 ticks, 3 points, and he puts $200 into each one of those a day, and he takes 1 trade, $2,000 a day, just from 1 measly 2 points. It's not difficult. It's not difficult to make some decent money. So what's going on there? That bottom of the range reversal bar is like the trade Mac took yesterday. Was it really? I'll have a look at that later. So that liquidity is shifted to down here. Where is it? 65. So that's probably going to sit there. The thing is, with this liquidity above here and down here, obviously price moves towards liquidity, but you know, around this area here is why I didn't go along there, because liquidity is stronger here than it is up here, and it's closer. And obviously when that bar appeared, for me, there's two nice legs up there. So we got 1 leg, 2 legs. In fact, let's go from the bottom. To there. Yeah, look at that. Perfect. Look at that. To the nearest tick. 1 leg up, break, another leg up. Perfect measured leg. Nice big bearish bar. So let's say for now that was in there. It did look like a bigger channel, to be honest with you. And you can, I think you tell the bigger channels because you'll have a push down and then it'll move sideways a bit and then push down again. You get that sideways bit in there, then it'll go down again, then a bit more sideways. When it goes sideways, it usually goes until it touches the other side of the range and then comes down. So which tells me that that's range, sorry, channel, bigger channel. That's the way to do it. 1 trade, little stress. Yeah, got to say my stress levels are so much less when I take a trade. All I can say is if I take a trade that I believe to be a good one, if it loses, I can deal with those. If I lost my patience and got into a half-hearted trade, then I had that little voice in the back of my head saying, you shouldn't really be doing this. They're the ones I struggle to deal with psychologically. And if I do take a trade that I believe to be good and it loses, it's because I'm not experienced enough. And then you use that as a lesson. a lesson, you know, to better yourself. Okay, so there's strong liquidity at 78. So I'm guessing that is more or less the top of the range. Where's the paste gone? Copy, paste. Top of the range, 78. Let me have a look. Yeah, there's a lot of liquidity there. So if you're going to get out of a long, you're going to do it here. And if you're going to get into a short, breaks above here, you're going to do it here. So leg up, break. Probably going to get another leg up. So leg up, bull flag. So we'll likely get another leg up when we get a decent bar. I don't think that's bad, actually. Trouble is an inside bar, so I'd probably wait. But every other day I mention this, we get a push up, we get a little bit of sideways until we get a decent bar, then they make like a mirror image of it. And we see that so many times. So I would say that measured leg is going to get us up to there at least. So that was an inside bar, really. But I wouldn't have taken it just in case, but it'll do that. Push up sideways just until it has a really nice bar, and that encourages traders in. But it's just having the patience for these. I've got to say, trading lately, in fact, the last maybe week, it's not been too bad, but we have had just so many days of chop, and that's, I think, where the inexperience. I class myself as an inexperienced trader. I've been trading for 2.5 years now. I would say now I'm scratching the intermediate level where I can make money, but I still suffer with lack of confidence, a little bit of lack of belief, and some silly impulsive trading from time to time. So I think I'm learning my lessons slowly. But what does challenge me is when we get a day of just chop, and you know, sometimes we're so eager to get in and make a trade that we get in on a half-hearted trade and we get stung, and it's frustrating that I don't like the feeling. So my complete focus now is on sitting here, whether I've got to sit here for an hour or a month without seeing a trade. Then I'll do it, and then I wait for a setup, and you can't deny that was perfect. 2 legs up, lovely big bearish bar, completely swamped that one, and you can see the reaction there, can't you? There's obviously traders selling there until we got look at that until it pushed through that liquidity, and there we go. The good trades do move, because if it's a real obvious trade like that, lots of traders will sell that, and that's why you get a nice big push. So, you know, as my trading develops over the coming years, I'll start going for more and more points. You know, I can see this liquidity, and theoretically there's 4 points there. So, yeah, there is. You could have got out for, well, yeah, you'd have got 4 points there if you'd have had the nuts to sit there. The trouble is, sometimes I always like to come out a little bit before the rest of the orders, just in case. Because we obviously get filled in order. So what I don't want is for it to tick through it and then look what happened. So I think sometimes it's best to get off just a little bit early. At least that way you're guaranteed to get out without no point in waiting for an extra 2 or 3 ticks and that happening to you. Overtrading is what fucked me up. You can say it, mate. I don't mind. Yeah. I'll tell you a little story now. Okay. When I first started doing this, I put about 3,000 of my own in, and I was trading throughout a day, and I worked out I was about $75 up. No, $175 up, and what I didn't realise is I had $185 worth of fees in the one day. So you can work out how many trades I took. I was just buying and selling every minute, and it's just, it's like walking along a tightrope, 1,000 foot above a burning fire. You know, it's a horrible feeling. But then, yeah, I think everyone suffers from overtrading when they're new. Slowly, you know, I think it's better to get one good trade than to have a loser, than to have a winner, a loser, and then a winner. So one trade instead of 3. Just wait for that one trade. But there we go. See what I mean? So that bar would have worked nice. I see that all the time. It pushes up, goes a little bit sideways at a slight upwards angle. And I read that so many times in crypto, bull flag. We don't tend to use patterns so much, but they do. They do exist. You might not think you do, but psychologically we see a pattern, don't we? We see a pattern there. Push down, push up, down, up, down, up. We see a pattern. And look, exactly. In fact, that can come down a bit to right at the bottom there. But look at that. Look where that touched. Beautiful. Straight up. So now we've hit that liquidity. So if you'd have took that bar there, if you know what you're doing, and when you've been doing it a while, if you took that bar there and come out maybe at the top, you'd have got 6 points out of that. So if I'd have done that, 6 points, I'd have had $1,800 in my 3 accounts. So it just goes to show, like Max says, the more screen time and you see these patterns, you can just go ahead and take them and then come out up here. So we've hit that liquidity and then look, we've pushed down. So where are we going now, do you think? I'd say down. Let me have a look. There is some liquidity at 80, a little bit, not a massive amount. Oh, there is a bit. 80 is the highest I can see, really. There is some 85, but it's not that strong. But 80 is the highest. But look, we've popped out of here and pulled back, and look what we're doing. Straight back to the EMA. Let me have a look. Jonathan, I had a 20k week. Good for you, mate. To lose it in a 20k day. Oh, mate. Oh. Most I've lost in a day is $2,300. I think you've got to do it, mate. You have to experience it. You've got to experience all these things in life, not to do them again. You know, you'll only stick your hand in a fire once, won't you? I think you've got to, as a trader, you've got to experience the best and the worst of days to round you as a good trader. You're not always going to have good days and always luck. You're going to mess up. It's a fact. But it's the people that can, you know, deal with them and eventually move on. It does take time. When I lost that, I got that first PA account up to $7,500. I took $2,000 out and I thought I'd cracked it. And then I had 18 green days. I'd earned somewhere between $200 and $1,300 per account. And I tell you what, it couldn't have gone any better. And I thought I've cracked it. And instead of having a rule where if you lose 2 trades in a day or in a row, something's telling you something. Either you're not reading the market right or your mind isn't in the right place. And I think sometimes you're best off. So 2 losses for me would be around about the $450. And somebody once told me never lose more in one day that you can't make in another. And you can recover from that. But that $2,300 I lost, it messed with my head that bad that I lost $1,700 the day after. So $4,000 in 2 days, and I was doomed. I just never recovered from that until the account went. But you know, you've got to put it behind you. You've got to learn from it, put it behind you. But more, what you've got to do is not beat yourself up, and you know, don't be hard on yourself. You are going to do it. It's how human beings work. You lose some and you panic. You want it back. It takes time to get used to be able to losing something. But Nick, if Nick Sesto's around, it's his birthday today, so if he does pop up here, wish him happy birthday. Happy birthday, Nick. He told me, look upon a loss as a business expense. So, you know, if you were, I don't know, if you had to go somewhere for business and you had to pay $300 for a plane ticket, it's a business expense. You know, you don't stress and panic. It's got to be paid. You've got to spend £500 on your motor insurance or on a bunch of new tyres. It comes out your own pocket. It's a business expense. It's got to be paid. So I kind of like that idea, and it is a business expense, and more importantly, when it comes to tax, it's a business expense. And I've got about $13,000 worth of business expenses that I've got to get back. I stopped trading the PAs along the way, and I had just went all in on passing 20 before going back to 20 PAs. I had a long wait. Yeah. You're going to experience all sorts of things on the way, aren't you? Yeah. It is tough. It's a tough business to be in, but I believe if you keep trying and keep working and keep trying to improve, you'll get your reward. And for me, it's not a case of if, it's a case of when. Because, you know, I've always been a believer that if you really want something bad enough, you'll get it. Now, you know, if I want to go out and start doing the high jump and want to break 3 meters, then I'm probably overstepping the mark a bit. But this is very doable. Thousands of people do it. It just takes time to get that brain trained. It's like anything. You know, if you go to the gym every day for a month and you work your ass off, you're going to get fit. It's a fact. It's a fact. But you can mold a brain. You can, get people to do anything. You can mold your body. Your brain's no different. Your brain's a muscle. It can be trained. It can be exercised. You can be taught that it doesn't affect you. I believe that there's always a bit of emotions, but it's not emotions enough powerful to destroy you again and again. You'll soon get used to it. There's a big old bunch of what's it there, isn't there? In my opinion, it's a good strategy. Absolutely. This is great perspective for a loss. Exactly, Jay. I thought about it and I thought, well, yeah, it is, isn't it? If you've got a business and you've got to spend out £20,000 or $20,000 for a new vehicle, you don't curl up in a ball, do you, with your hands around your head going, oh my God, what have I done? It's got to be done. If you've got to buy new computer systems, you've got to cough up $2,000. You have to do it. I mean, if you've got a business, let's say, I don't know, you're in construction, you'd be buying thousands and thousands worth of tools and equipment. You've got to do it because it's part of business, as in losses are part of trading. And, it's just trying to get these little ideas that may trigger something that when you take a loss, you go, oh, when. But what I will say is, and I think I'm probably no different than a lot of traders, that the losses that get to you the most are the stupid ones where you took trades or you went on tilt. Now, thinking about a business expense, you don't go on tilt and start buying loads of tools and vehicles, do you? Because it doesn't work that way. But, all I would say is just focus on sitting there as long as it takes to find a good setup. If you believe it's a good setup, do it, commit. And there you go. If it wins, great. If it loses, then you're not that experienced. It takes a bit longer. But you learn a lesson from it. You learn more from a loss than you do from a win. And these are things that I've experienced and I'm still experiencing and things, that are helping me. But I do find that I take 2 steps forward and then 1 step back. But as far as I'm concerned, as long as I'm moving forward in some sense, then I'm still on the right track. Set a goal. How many accounts do you want and do nothing else except hit that goal? Absolutely. Always have your goals and targets. The only thing I disagree with that what Max says is Max says set yourself a target of 2 trades or $100. I think setting a financial target can mess with your psyche a bit. And I've done this. I want to get $200 a day. And if we're getting to the end of the day, I'll take something a bit risky because I want to hit my target. And you can only take what the market gives you. And if you've got pressure, whether it's pressure you apply to yourself to try and hit a financial target, I think sometimes that can make you, trade a little bit risky sometimes. A monetary target that if I hit $200, I'll quit for the day, that's okay. But I wouldn't set yourself a target, a financial goal for the day, because it can make you take maybe a silly trade a bit. That's unusual, that, isn't it? Right, a whole bunch of side-by-side stuff. But the accounts, yeah, I'd say, my personal opinion is just take one at a time until you can make it pay. Then maybe go to 2 or 3, and then if you can make them pay, just start adding 2 or 3 at a time. Every time you get a paycheck, add another 3 or 4 or another 5 and invest it. But I want to get back a little bit. But now I've got this $2,000, I'm going to get another 2 or 3. PA accounts, and then build. My first target is to get to 10, and then eventually 20. But if you can get 20 and you can make yourself a measly $100 a day, that's $40,000 a month. I mean, I don't care what anybody says. That's serious money. Our Prime Minister only earns about $220,000 pounds a year. So if you're earning $40,000 a month, that's serious money. That's life-changing money. So there's some liquidity at 82 up here. Let's have a look. So you've got to be careful here. There's some at 82, there's some at 85, and some at 87. Some at 85, some at 87. There. So there's 3 levels of liquidity there, and that's it, it dies off. 82 is the strongest, and then down here we've got some at around about 74, which is here. So from what I can see, if it comes back in, I can see this may be pushing up. There is some at 65 down here, but not as much. Oh, there is a bit actually, but if we come back in, great. But we may come back, touch this little bit of liquidity, and then push higher. Hard to say at the moment. Prime ministers and presidents don't pay for anything. Yeah, I know. But you know my point. If you're earning $40,000 a year, you're in the top, what, 1-2%? Something like that, 1%. I know you're on the UK, obviously. You've got a lot more wealthier people over there in the US. Got to say, you guys don't know how lucky you are with prices of things. I looked at getting a Weber barbecue Master Touch. £380 over here. That's about $430. You pay half that price. Vitamix, I pay over here for a Vitamix, £450. That's what, $550, $530. You pay half price. You guys get stuff so cheap. Your houses are about 5 times the size and about half price. You guys. And you can shoot people you don't like. Christ almighty, what I wouldn't do. Well, I shouldn't say it, right? You know, when you're driving down the road and someone pisses you off, I'd love to pull something out of them and just stick out the window. You guys have all the best stuff. It's about 400 grand, yeah, see? But house prices, Christ almighty. My sister lives in Winchester. And they've got a small 2-bedroom house. And when I mean small. They paid $600,000. Well, they don't own it, but it would be £600,000 to buy that. Just for a small 2-bedroom house. Unbelievable. House prices are just ridiculous over here. So, what are we going to do here? We're going to push up. I have a feeling we may. There's a lot of buying at 74 here, so what I will say is we'll either go up or down, or we may go sideways. Is that all they get in the US? It sounds bad, really, doesn't it? And we got football players who earn that a week in the UK. Unbelievable. We have Eddie Hall. He's the strong man, isn't he? I like Eddie, actually. He's all right. He's from Stoke-on-Trent, actually. He's quite funny. He's quite funny. He's got a good sense of humour, he has. Looking to buy a small one in Hammersmith. Christ almighty. I think you could buy a palace in the US for one in Hammersmith, couldn't you? Got to say, prices in the US are cheap. It's not so much that they're cheap as well. You get such a big house for it. You know, I mean, you're lucky if you can swing a cat round in a front room in the UK for anything under 250,000. No, it's prices are ridiculous. I think our minimum wage is about, what is about £9.50 an hour, which is about, what, $11.5, just under $12. Ridiculous. Hammersmith, that'd be expensive. 2 points. Okay. I think this liquidity is sucking us up. May have a leg down, another leg down, but I think we're getting some more of the up bits. No, I don't like that. You currently rent for $825. I have a 4-bed, 2-bathroom, basement, 1 acre. Can find really cheap stuff a year, 820. I'll tell you something. My mortgage for a 3-bedroom house 15 years ago was more than that. And that's a small 3-bedroom house. Not even a semi. Unbelievable. 825, that's about what, £700. You wouldn't get anywhere near that over here for £700. It would be a really, really small 2-bedroom house with a bathroom. You wouldn't get a garage, nothing with that. Just move to Thailand, you'd be a millionaire. Yeah, absolutely. My plan is, well, my dream is to move to Dubai. I've mentioned before, there's a buddy, a guy I've got to know called Joe. Well, that's that. I haven't spoken to him for a couple of months, but occasionally I got a message. I got one at Christmas, one a couple of months after Christmas. I probably mentioned it, but I'll mention it again. He was from Norfolk in the UK, and he was a teacher. Him and his girlfriend were a teacher, and they went to Dubai for 12 months. This was maybe 7, 8 years ago, 9 years ago, something like that. And they had a contract just to teach in a school over there, teach English in a school. And they loved it. They came back, and he learned to trade. And he told me that he was earning $300,000 a year at the time, and he was paying £140,000 a year in tax in the UK. And he lives in Dubai now and lives comfortably off just the tax he was paying. They absolutely love it. They come back to the UK in the height of the summer for a couple of months and stay with family, because obviously it gets hot over there. But he loves his life. And a lot of financial... There's a few guys I follow on YouTube that trade crypto. And a lot of the financial people go to Dubai because obviously if you can work from a computer, you can work anywhere in the world. And obviously it's tax-free. Apparently it's 30% cheaper to live in Dubai than it is London. Dubai is also the 3rd safest place to live in the world, which is quite surprising, actually. It's not as bad as people think, you know, with restrictions on women and all that. It's all, a lot of it's changed. They've had to change because of because of people. Apparently, is it something like 80% of the people that live in Dubai aren't from the country? So, but that's just something I'd love to do. It's a bit of a dream. Whether it'll ever happen or not, I don't know. See what I mean about it going up. Now, I'd have seen this and I'd have been looking to find a short here. But because I've got Bookmap, I can see these areas of liquidity. So that's the beauty of Bookmap. Usually, as soon as we get something like that, you'd be thinking about shorting there. Fortunately, there wasn't really a short there, but that's the beauty of having Bookmap or something else like that, whereas you can see the areas. And I said straight away, it looks like it's going up to me, and look what's happened. Whether it will continue or not, I don't know, but there is liquidity at 82, although that's faded off a little bit. It's still there, and then some at 85. So, but it does look like it's got more to go, doesn't it? And I wouldn't have been able to tell that without this Bookmap, so it's been a godsend for me. Just a little confidence booster. just to give you that little bit of backing and support. It's like having someone who knows what they're doing just talking in my ear, you know. Middle of nowhere. It's absolutely beautiful. Yeah, that's the beauty of being a trader. You can more or less live wherever you want. I mean, if you don't want to travel, you know, outside the country, you can move wherever you want within your own country. I mean, there's amazing places to, you know, to live in the UK. Some beautiful places. Short. Yeah, I noticed you started putting own risk. 42.80 for short here. Trouble is, mate, your stop will be up here, and what I can see is the liquidity at here. So what did I just say? 42.80. It's funny you should say that because we've just hit that. We seem to be getting a bearish bar. Let's put a little mark on there and see whether it would have worked. Trouble is, for me at the moment, we're going up, and I can see that liquidity here and here. How you doing, Harjit, anyway? You're not looking too rosy at Australia, are you? Hopefully it'll pull things around. I hope India beat Australia, to be honest with you, because we've got Australia next. Okay, there's a bearish bar there, right where Harjit said to take a short. So let's see what would happen. So we'd have an order there, and let's say we're going for 2 ticks. 2 points, sorry. Let's have a look. 2 points. Bloody hell, he's right again. Bloody hell, Harjit. Christ almighty, you the man. Okay, so that's 4-0 to Harjit. That's 4 in a row that you've said that over the last couple of days. So when we get to 10, we'll be forgetting Mac, and you'll be the man. Let's do it in red. You're the man, mate. You really need to get on YouTube. Start streaming live. I tell you what, I'll follow you. I'll tell you what, if you're pulling out trades like that, 4 in a row there, I'll pay $100 a month to watch you. And a lot of other people would, mate. You're in Australia. You're in Australia. Are you a cricket fan, are you, Rodian? Or are you not? The taxes are really high. Yeah. No, I'm a cricket fan, and we've got Australia playing India and the UK at the moment, and we've got the Ashes next. So that would have made 2 points, absolutely. Fantastic. Funny, just as you said that, look what happened. Nice bearish bar appeared. Trouble is, I quite like the idea now of just having 1 trade a day for 2 points. I can make a ton of money on that on 10 accounts. Wait for one night. You'll always get 1 nice setup a day. 3 stacks of liquidity above makes it hard. Yeah, exactly what I thought. But look, Arjit said it. And what did he say? 280. Look at that. He could have picked that any better. Got a nice bearish bar. Small risk. 280. What happened? It went 4.5 points. That's the 4th time he's got that right in 2 days. 3 yesterday, 1 today. So I've said to him, when we get to 10, we're forgetting Mac, and we're all going to start following Arjit. He's then probably going to charge us an extortion amount of money to copy him. Sorry, no cricket for me, but I enjoy. Yeah, football. I used to follow football, but did you see the was it West Ham or in Italy? See all the trouble, all the rioting. I got no time for it. Cycling, I watch some. I do watch some cycling. I quite like watching the Tour de France. But yeah, football, it just does my head in. Just the trouble. I mean, over in Italy, the rioting, the fighting, the police everywhere. It's put me off it. So Harjit mentioned that, literally right on the button. We made 4 points, 4.5, maybe 5 points straight the way down. I didn't go short just because of this, but it would have worked. 1 or 2 more PAs before the sale is over. 1 or 2 more PAs? Evaluations, you mean? I have this PA for 4 months now. I think if you've got it for 4 months, I'd certainly think about getting a couple more. If you've managed to keep it for 4 months, in fact, are you still paying $85 a month, are you? Because there's a one-off fee now. I like watching Man City and Liverpool. It's on the telly, so I don't. Yeah, football's just gone really bad over here. Just rioting and fighting after, and thousands of police everywhere. And it put me off it. I started to watch it. I stopped watching it maybe 7 or 8 years ago. Yeah, evals. Yeah, they finish Monday, I think. If you can manage to keep one PA 4 months, I'd definitely get a couple more if I was you. You can obviously hold them. See, I've made that $200 there. 1 trade, 2 points on 3 accounts. I've just put $600 in my account. The life. Oh yeah, okay, good. Much better deal, isn't it? You'd have paid over $300 up to now, wouldn't you? 4 months, but if you can hold it for 4 months, that's the time to start growing them. If you can get, yeah, definitely, that's the time. That's where you're going to make your money growing them. Aim to get up to 10 or in G Money's case, 20 accounts. I think he's not far off there now. You're maybe three off there or something. So if you've got 20 accounts, and I'm trading 2 contracts here. If you trade 1 contract and get $100 a day on 20 accounts, that's $2,000 a day. That's $40,000 a month. That's life-changing money. Okay, so that hit like we thought. So when Harjit said that, I thought, well, to me, we're moving up. Well, we are. He was right, because there was a short there, and that went for 5 points, so that was clearly a short. Now, normally, I don't think Mac would mark that because we're moving up, but Harjit obviously clearly knows what he's talking about, because he's done this 4 times in a row, and that 5-point move is probably the smallest move he's given us. There was a lot more over the last sort of day or two, but he clearly knows what he's talking about, because he just picked that one right out of fresh air, and look what happened. But it's okay if you didn't take it, because we're clearly moving up, so that's fine. But we hit. Now, I wouldn't have never known this, see. But now I've got bookmap. So 83 now. Have a look. Around about 83 to 85. So this sort of area here. Let's put in there. And then the last bit is 80, say about 88, which is there. So, see, there is a possibility then this range will just maybe just grow from top to bottom a little bit. There is some at 77, 78, so that may drop a little bit, and that would probably make sense. Where is it? 78. There is some at 78, so we may get 1 leg, 2 legs, a bit of a pull back. So this does look like it's starting to be a channel. Let's have a look. Oh yeah. Let's see if it does. I'm liking that. Look at that. That's just picked up that liquidity there. Touch, 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 touch. 1 leg, 2 leg. So there's still a bit left at 78. It didn't quite tick through it, so I'd expect maybe this will. Now, Harjit mentioned earlier about that. Only take longs above that, so... What did he say, longs or shorts about? No, longs, I think. So, let's see what happens here. I went ahead and bought 1 more. They seem to run 80%. Yeah, I won't worry about it if you want to wait. They have 80% more now. The trouble is, because they've done 8%, no one's going to buy them at half price anymore. I'm certainly not. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's going to be the norm, personally. They obviously sell way more of mine. I know that because obviously I have affiliate link. And when the 80% off, I get a lot more than when they're half price. Half price, when it's half price, it hardly moves. So still strong liquidity. I still think it's going to click that first. So let's see whether this comes down. It's really strong at 78. So I'll be surprised if it doesn't hit that. Oh, thanks, Tyler. I appreciate that, mate. I only use it because I know it doesn't cost you guys anything, and it's a way of getting some of my money back from Apex. They've got my cash. I want it back. As Nick said that yesterday, didn't they? What did he say? He sent me a message. Didn't he? No, look. Surprised he's not here yet. No, look. Or was it on the stream? I can't remember what he said yet. Okay, see if we pick this liquidity up. So, touch, close enough. Touch, close enough. Does seem like a channel, doesn't it? That's slowly going up. Strange, and its range lovely there, isn't it? And now all of a sudden we're moving up. Before I even think about going along, I wanted to pick that liquidity up first. Hold on. David, if you go onto YouTube, buddy, and type Bookmap Live, make sure you click the ES one because there's one for NQ as well, and you can watch it live. Okay, so we've picked up that liquidity now, so let's get that out of the way. So now, are we pushing up again? If that finishes right, I might wait for a higher low because we're clearly now working in this channel, aren't we? But let me have a look. Strong liquidity up here. There's a bit at 75, so it's hard to know what's going on here, but 4281 is decent resistance. Yeah, here. Yeah, there is some sellers around about here, see, so it's hard to know, isn't it? Now, interesting enough, if that pulls up bullish, it's not going to know anyway. It looks like a leg and a leg, doesn't it? Yeah, just click there's an NQ one, an ES. It says live. Make sure you click the live one, and you'll see it. It does look a bit. If you've never seen it before, it does look a bit. Well, it looks totally bloody confusing, but it's not as difficult as you think. And if you need a bit of help with it, just say, and I'll drag it on the screen and give you a quick walkthrough of it. This has been a choppy week. Yeah, it has a bit. Okay, so let's have a look at this now. So we've had a bit of a breakout here, and there is two perfect legs down, but I still don't want to take a trade yet. Let's have a look. Yeah, it's an exact measured move. One leg, two legs. So if we can push up and get a higher low above the EMA, then I'll be interested in going along there. But that's a perfect measured leg. Yeah, the liquidity is about even, so I'm unsure as what to do, really. In fact, maybe we can get this to fit. No, it's a bit... Just wonder if that's a spiking channel. No, I don't think it is it? No, something doesn't look right there. Okay, so that's definitely pushing up anyway. Let me just check this is trap. So try go one strike, twice possible trap now. So this drops down and gives us a higher low. And I might be interested in the 87. There is liquidity up here. You may have took that one, but the trouble is I had that at the time marked about like that. And it's sort of fit. Yeah, it fits, doesn't it? Touch, 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 touch. Touch nice there, touch nice there. So that made me a bit nervous. I've got caught out in a couple of these where we have one leg down and a two leg down, and the second leg is outside the range. I much prefer two legs outside the range before I go up. That's why I tend to now give it a chance to trap me. So we've got a new high, so try go one strike. So I want it to trap me. So that's trap now, the short. So if it does push up, gives us a bullish bar, I'd say it's okay to go long there. But you've just got to be careful. So liquidity 83 there's some. So let's get
order
an order
submitted.
Ready. See how that finishes. That is a nice higher low, isn't it? Come get me. Come get me. That's frustrating. How far's it gone? A point. Come on. Come get me. Come on. You bastard. Come back and get me. Shit. I like that. Okay. Come and get me. Come on. I dare you. Dare you. Damn it. Missed that one. Bollocks. That's where I put my order. Look at that. It's a nice channel there. It's going right up here, that.
Order cancelled.
That's a shame. That's going to push right up there, no problem. Damn it, 2 points. That one, I'm not a fan of taking another trade, I've got to say, but I can't argue that. That looks lovely. That a little bit of a break, perfect measured leg, nice and bullish, up above the EMA, nice high low. Bollocks. Excuse my French, but it is annoying. Missed and pissed. So look. Shame you can't put a little angry face there, isn't it? Missed that one. That's a shame. That was a lovely trade, that one. That, apart from that, it's not often you get two really solid, lovely trades. You may have took that one, but that was a slightly risky one, I think. But that one was a better one. Clearly made 2 points. I missed a fill as well. Yeah, to be fair, do you know what? I took a trade yesterday and I waited for it to move a little bit. And I hesitated for a second, and that's what made me lose the trade. But there you go. It happens. I can live with it. I don't mind. I can deal with it. I've got a few points off that bedtime now. Oh, of course, yeah, you're Australia, aren't you? It's late night where you are. Yeah, that was all right. That was a perfect measured leg. The trouble is I've given up when we get a second leg taking it outside the EMA. I've got stung on them too many times, which is why now I wait for the higher low. Higher lows just don't look any better than that. Finished on its high, nice and bullish. It looks like it's going to go into a short-term trend channel, and it did exactly what it was supposed to. Beautiful, look at that. We know there's liquidity up here, and there's some at 85. I'll be so shocked if that doesn't go all the way up there, actually. So that's it's taken. That's where I'd say it's going to hit, which is literally, by the time we have another bar, going to be right at the top of this channel. Hello, mate. How are you? Happy birthday. It's Nick's birthday today. Everyone wish him happy birthday. I did consider singing, but I haven't got the best singing voice. So I'll give that one a body swerve. Gutted about that one. Well, I'm not really, but that would have been a lovely trade, that one. Beautiful. Perfect 2 legs down. Second entry long, higher low. Higher high. Beautiful. You have a day job. You'll be giving that up soon, mate, I predict. You'll be earning a ton of money as a trader. You won't need to go out and work with the rest of civilization. You'll be able to sit at home for 3 hours a day and trade and have a great life. I've got faith, mate. Just keep sticking at it. Thank you, sir. You're welcome, mate. How old are you, Nick? How old are you? What are you? 30s, early 30s, something like that? Or have I just given you a massive compliment? Yeah, that was a nice trade, that was. I hesitated. You know why? Because the last time I took 2 trades in one day, I lost the second one. I was damn frustrated. But to be honest with you, that looked beautiful. And it's not that often we've seen 2 really nice setups. Perfect measured leg, that one. Nice big bearish bar. It was a visual set. And I'll tell you something for certain. What's it? We're taking that one. Taylor from Top Pick Trading. 1 leg up, 2 legs up. Perfect measured move. Beautiful bar. And the good trades, look at that work, see, look at that. That went 4.5 points. That one went even more. So the good trades where you get these real good solid entries, you get a lot of people trading in that. If not, they're there, and look what happened, pushed up nice and solid. So that's why I like going for more points, because you can make them. Unfortunately missed that one. I'd have gone out of the top there, so I'd have maybe 3.5 points there. Big 30, is it? Wow. I've just insulted you when I say 30s. 30. It's all downhill from here, mate. That's it now. You'll start to ache and whinge and moan in the mornings from now on. So have you only just started, Nick? If you did, you missed that one, mate. That was a beauty, that one. Look at it go. And that one. Look at the good trades, though. Look what happens. That goes into a nice... They really push well, these good setups. Which is why when we get the good setups, I'm generally going for a few more points. And if I'd have managed to get into that one... well, probably I'd have put that at 2.5 points, actually, but it didn't go. Well, you would have got 4 out of it comfortably. And that one went about the same. It ain't finished yet. If you go a tick below it, yep, you'd have got 4 points. I tend to go for 4 a lot of the times, so I'd have got 4 points off both of those. If I'd have been quick enough, but it did. It came down a bit. When the time it triggered, it moved up a bit too quick there. Trouble is, if you jump in up here, some of the times I jump in, I risk an extra point, and it's a bit much. After 30, it's like watching Twitter flush. Everything just starts to spiral and goes downwards, doesn't it? Just something for you to think about there on the rest of your day, Nick. Just keep it in the back of your mind. This is as good as it's going to get, mate. Nah, you'll be all right, mate. Still a baby at 30, mate. Wait till you get to 53, my age. Stuff generally does ache. No, go out and have a nice meal tonight, mate. Let your hair down. Have a few beers. You got plenty of time. I wish I'd have started trading when I was 30. God, I do. I've already got a great life picking always to get better. You can always get better, mate. You'd be surprised what some decent money. Mind you, in Australia, life's got to be wonderful out there, surely. Nice warm weather. All that excitement. You don't know what's going to bite you next. You got sharks out there, haven't you? Some of the worst sharks in the world, the most deadliest snakes and spiders in the world. Don't listen to me, mate. Never listen to me. That's the best advice I can give you. Oh, I'm so gutted I missed that one. Well, I'm not gutted, but that was a great setup, that one. As good as that one. I think really, as far as entries, it's probably as good as a higher low or a higher high will look. Lots of biting animals, but I bite back in. We haven't got anything like that over here. We have no earthquakes, no bad weather, no snakes, no spiders. Well, nothing's going to do any harm. We're quite lucky over here, really. I mean, some places in the US, especially in your neck of the woods, Nick, you must have seen some horrific weather. Yeah, some places in the US, tornadoes. Christ, I'd hate to have a family living in an area like that. I've got to say, it must scare the shit out of you if you got kids. But I suppose it's what you're used to, I suppose, isn't it? But it must be terrifying. Yeah, it's as good as it looks at. It's as good as a higher low looks at. I mean, that's beautiful. We're clearly working a trend there. I mean, touch there, touch a bunch of times there, touch there. One, it was a perfect measured leg. Nice big bullish bar. You may have took that one, but I tend to leave those now and wait for the higher low. But my confidence has been knocked just a touch lately. So I wanted to wait for it to move a little bit, and it carried on and never stopped. But that would have been lovely. So next time, I've gone from jumping in too easily to hesitating a bit, which I think is the safer end of jumping in. But what I need to still do is, if I see a good entry, I still have to get into it. Because, you know, some days you may not see two good setups. So while they're there, you've got to take them. But I kind of I know a lot of traders I know now just do one a day, but it's okay if you're going to win every day, but maybe the odd day you lose. So if you can get 2 trades in one day, it makes up for that loss. But I think 2 trades, maximum 2 winners in a day, great time to finish for the day, that is. You've done your job, you've done well. It's when you wait for a few more, I think, that things can go wrong, and then there's nothing worse than giving back. Okay. Next strong liquidity is up here. Now, that area that Harjit mentioned, I forget where it was now, only long above it, I think he said. So at the moment, longs it is, but we've had that break. It's a clear break, and we pushed up and made a new high. So be interested to see what happens now, whether it continues. Strong liquidity at 87. So I'd say if we come back here that we might likely get some more push up. 87 3/4 actually, so it's about there. So which tells me we're probably going to get another leg down here, and then maybe another push up. I prefer UK, but for the rain, I've got to say, mate, it's been beautiful here now for about 3 weeks. I've even had to water the grass. It's literally drying out. But it has been an average of 20-21 degrees centigrade here. But for 3 weeks now, it's been wall-to-wall. It's been lovely, wall-to-wall sunshine. You know, if it pissed down for the rest of the year, I think we've still got more than our fair share of sun already. And we're still sort of literally just broken into summer. And we had the hottest temperatures the UK's ever seen. We got up to 42 degrees centigrade last year. That was baking hot. I've got to say, I was on fire. I like the triple test second entry long before the higher low. Triple test second entry long, 1, 2, 3. Didn't see that one, mate. Let's have a look. Yeah, you can say that. Down, down, down. Yeah. If you took that one, I think Mac will probably mark that one for the triple test. He'll certainly mark that one. But if you didn't take that one and you wanted to wait, I tend to go a little bit extra cautious now, which I think I'd rather be a little bit more cautious than overconfident. And I think sometimes you can go from one to the other, but I think it's the better side. I think it's better if you are a bit more cautious than a little bit too over keen. But if you didn't take that one, I mean, really, the bar doesn't look any better than that. And same again, bullish bar doesn't look any better. Clearly looking like it's going to start off in a tight range, and it did. Did exactly what it was supposed to, beautifully. So that one, I'd say that's a 9.8 trade, isn't it? And that's a 9.5 trade. Yeah, they just don't get any better than that, really, especially lately. They're as more or less as good as they get, those. Certainly that one. Massive liquidity, 87, which is there. With the strongest at 88. So from here to 88. So I expect that to just push up there. There's a bit at 85, so we may come down a little bit, but then I think we'll carry on it. So if you did have the stones to keep on to that, yeah, that's my target, slightly above there. So you can clearly see now over the 2 weeks I've been using it. This book map is clearly a godsend. Keeps you out of trades and backs up the trades you do take. In fact, I may have a couple of extra evaluations myself later. God, that one was a beauty. Okay, this area to come. My birthday wish is that the trading picks up insanely this month. This month, is that it? Aim higher. Aim higher. This decade, go for this month. But if you're going to make a wish, mate, don't just wish it for a month. Wish it for the rest of your days. You're not aiming high enough, mate. Okay, remember I said there was a bit of liquidity down here, so I expect a little bit of a pullback. Look what's happened. Yeah, that's it now. Liquidity's died off, so now watch it push up here. Got a bunch of punches. Same. Oh, purchases I need to make. I got you. I got you. Okay, so that little bit of liquidity down here. The missus needs Lulus. Lulus? What's that? Oh, you need a Rolex. I've had a few nice watches, actually. I've had 2 Seamasters, Omega Seamasters, and a Speedmaster. The Moon watch. I sold my Moon watch about 5 years ago to buy a van for a business. I do like the Rolex, the Submariner, the black one with the date. They're expensive at the moment. They're about, I don't know, new. If you can get one over here, they're about £8,000, but the second-hand ones are about 30% more. But what colour Porsche? I used to like Porsches. I'll tell you what I like now. What car I'd like is a Land Rover Velar. I absolutely love them. And you can get a second-hand one, maybe 2-3 years for about £30,000. Omega Seamaster. Yeah, I've had 2 Seamasters. I had the mid-range one, which is the smaller one, and I paid £600 for that about 15 or 16 years ago. And then I lost it in Turkey, and then I got the full size, or the gent size, I think they call it, the Speedmaster, and knew at the time that was about £1,200. About 6 years ago, I bought the Moon watch, the one in the lovely, beautiful presentation box, and I paid £3,000 for that. and sold that for a little bit less to start a business, but they're about 4,500 now, but the price go up. Dan's got, I like watches. I'm not a jewellery person really, I just have a wedding ring, but I do like watches. It's just the craftsmanship and the minute miniature pieces that go into making something beautiful. But yeah, the Rolex Submariner is definitely on my radar, and I like the APs as well, the Audemars Piguet. I like those, and IWC, I quite like some of those as well. And you're getting a GT3 in red, are you? Yeah, Porsches are nice. I always wanted, when I was a kid, I always wanted a 911, but I don't know, I've got a bit more comfort as I've got older. But it'd just be nice to go out and buy one for cash, wouldn't it? Ooh. Yeah. I find that's how I motivate myself. I do sometimes. I'll drive down to the Land Rover dealership, and I went there a few weeks ago. I came back from, I went to visit a mate on the road, and I came back, stopped for some fuel, and I popped into the garage, and I looked at a gunmetal grey Land Rover Velar, I think 21-inch alloys, and it was all dark. Absolute beauty inside, beautiful inside, stunning, and I think that was 2 years old, and that was about 43,000, I think. But I like luxury now. I do. I've gone from sports to luxury. That's not to say there's I think the Ferrari California I like, in Ferrari red. Maybe I can have one of those, and I quite like the R8s as well, the Audi R8s. I don't mind those. That's like a cheaper man's sports car, isn't it? But I'd probably have a few, maybe one for each day, we'll see. And the new Porsche GT3 RS ISS, not just any Porsche, it's the hottest car ever made. Yeah, they are nice Porsche, I've got to say. I have $100 Fitbit. That's all you need, mate, isn't it? That's all you need. Yeah, I bought an Apple Watch, the 8, a couple of weeks ago. Still sat on my desk. I haven't put it on yet. I'm going to get a cover for it, but there's a new gym opening near where I live at the moment. Pure Gyms starts in a couple of months, and it's about a mile down the road. So I thought I'd treat myself to an Apple Watch, help get myself into shape a little bit. $100 Fitbit. I'm having my Bronco. Yeah, see, can't afford to run a Bronco in the UK when you're paying about. It's cheaper at the moment. It's about £1.40 a litre diesel, which is about $1.60 or $1.70 or something. But we were paying £2 a litre not so long ago in the UK, which is about $2.50 a litre. So some of those gas guzzlers that you use over there, you just can't afford to run them over here. Loads of liquidity there. So this market is doing exactly what this liquidity is showing us. So you've got to be convinced Bookmap is a piece of, is a great piece of gear now. But I'm thinking now maybe we have got that spiking channel. There we go, beautiful. No argument there. That is fitting beautifully. Look at that. So actually, now we've put that there. That wasn't a break. So that did work, obviously, with the triple test. But yeah, look at that. Maybe we're going to get some continuation to the upside. And Mrs. got me a shark watch. Shark watch. Shark. Have I seen those? Shark. You guys have stuff a bit early over there, don't you? Before we get them. Shark. I'm not sure what that is. Yeah, we were paying £2. 7 or 8 months ago, we were paying £2 a litre, which is around about, what is it, just under $2.50 a litre. That's horrendous. But it's come down now. It's around about the 140, 138, 140. But yeah, it's just stuff went ridiculous over. Stuff's just priced ridiculous over here. That channel actually is, look at that. It just channels don't fit any better than that. I wish I'd have drawn that channel like that when I saw that. Look at that. We may get some really nice up stuff. Okay, well, it's going up as much as 90 now, so And Hargit did say go long above there, so just got to be careful now because we've got these two tiers. £10 $10 a gallon. Yeah, what is there? 5 litres? Yeah, no, it's more than that. 5 litres in a gallon, I think, is there. So that would be £10 UK. That's how much it was, which is about $12.50 a gallon. Yeah, it's pricey. It's always been cheaper in the US than it is in the UK. I don't know why that is. Maybe you guys use more of it, so you pay a bit less. I don't know, but everything's cheaper in the US. Just things that I've bought, you know, the Weber grills and the Vitamix, so much cheaper. Cameras as well. I used to do a bit of photography. Canon cameras, way cheaper in the US. But I believe in the not so distant future, now we're out the European Union, we may have a trade deal with the US, so hopefully we may get some better offers. But trouble is with the likes, I'm assuming Weber's US made, I think it is. I know Vitamix are. So obviously you guys, you haven't got the transport, you know, or all that, the postage to deal with, have you really? Tyler made it above resistance. 4281 longs are looking good. Yeah, they are, aren't they? And Watts, it did say long above here, didn't he? Hargit. A gallon. Bloody hell, that's cheap. A gallon, oh my god. We would get, that's double the price basically of what it is here at the moment. We're getting the Apple goggles to trade on Apple goggles. So you can be like in the computer, touching the bars. Right, okay, possible second entry long. I ain't going long here. Definitely not. It's just too risky in my opinion. We're up here now. It's gone a little bit sideways. This could be the time where it comes back to this side of the channel. Let's have a look. Liquidity 87. It's strong around here. There is some around about the 84s. Yeah, I just can't go long there. It might turn into a second entry long, but for me, it's dodgy purely and simply because it's congested anyway. So it's a no-no for me. Now, if you take it there, it might get to the top here, but it might not. Gallon is 290-ish. Bloody hell. Where do you live then? DBK, where are you from? What part of the US are you from? God, that's cheap. In fact, diesel has always been more expensive than petrol over here, but it's the other way around now. Although they've even out, they're about the same price. In some cases, petrol or unleaded is more expensive than diesel. But I suppose, I don't know, maybe, I know by 2030 the UK can't produce any more petrol or diesel cars. They're all got to be electric. So the only cars you're going to have around the UK from 2030 is anything sold pre-2030. So, which I think is a good thing. You know, they're getting better and better, aren't they? Sweet home Alabama. I got you. Yeah, that's cheap. Yeah, so everything's expensive in the UK. I suppose you guys use a lot more, buy a lot more, so naturally I suppose you get a lot cheaper. Yeah. And I think you make a lot more of your own stuff. We import such a lot of stuff. I think about 95% of the clothes we import are from the Far East. Things like, you know, China, Vietnam, all around those areas. Most of the clothes we you know, they're imported. You know, lots of electrical goods as well we import. We don't make a lot, to be fair, I don't think. But the US, they do make a lot of their own stuff. Yeah, I know what you mean, mate. Well, hopefully, we may have a trade deal with you guys in the future. Oh, I'm really pissed I missed that now. Oh, look at that. Tell you what, now that gorilla guy would have taken that and he'd have put his stop there and he'd have put his stop there. So he'd have, oh, it's not that much actually. Oh, bloody hell, ATR's come down. That was 3.2 when we started, I think. I mean, it's the good thing about it is it's less risk. It's less profit, but less risk. But I still go for the 2 points instead of the 3s and 4s. But the good thing is, with a tick above it, tick below, you're only risking just over 2 points. So we are getting way more trending days. Have you noticed the ES has had a massive? If you look on the daily, it's had a massive push. Compared, with the highest it's been by a mile over the last year and a half. American imports a lot too. Yeah, because you sort of use so much of them, you probably import that much. You probably get it a lot cheaper. Obviously, we import compared to you guys. Obviously, the US swamps the UK, doesn't it? I mean, I think some of your smaller states are bigger than the UK. With all the congestion, which one? Oh, that there, yeah. There was nothing really there, to be fair, was there? That was the one I was looking at, but, if we had a second entry there, but it looked like it could be a second entry, but yeah, it's congested. The trouble is, if it's congested, especially in a two-tiered channel, where we worked up in this bit, in that bit, and that bit, it might well, because it's at the top, work its way down. See, there's a lot of liquidity around that area, and then some here, which is telling me we're sort of sandwiching in, let's have a look, in this. Guy's moving his chart. Keep it still, you prat. Yeah, we're sort of sandwiched in this area, maybe bouncing off here up to here, so I much prefer... Oh, gutted I didn't take that now. Let's get to 1K. 1K. Oh, subscribers. Oh, yeah, I noticed last night. Yeah, 7 subscribers off 1,000. Only about another 100,000, then I might start making $100 a month. You don't make a lot from YouTube, to be honest with you. You got to have hundreds of thousands, I think. That was never the intention. You need to have a lot. In fact, you know that... what's that guy, Mr. Beast? He got offered $1 billion for his YouTube channel. He turned it down. And he reckoned it was worth 10 times that. And these financial guys estimated it being worth about 10 billion. Imagine that for a YouTube channel. Unbelievable. Just one young lad got offered $1 billion for it. You could take $1 billion and retire for the rest of your life richly. Are EVs expensive? EVs? What do you mean EVs, bud? Evaluations? The same price as you, if that's what you mean. EVs. You're talking about something else. Something vehicles. You saw that video, yeah. You got offered $1 billion for it. Unbelievable. He obviously must love what he's doing. I'd take the money and run, I would. $1 billion. You'd never want for anything again in your life, but yeah. They'll second entry. Here, too risky, that is. It is a failure, but it's hard to know. We're up to 90 here, but it's for me, it's too close to the top of that channel to go long. And I think it may trigger and come back down. In fact, I'm sure it will. Yeah, if you took that one, you're stuffed. That's asking to fail, that is. It's just too close to the top of the channel, really. That's why I didn't even look at that. I'm not even looking at this. For me, I want to get back to this side of the channel before I think about going long. Electric vehicle. Electric vehicle. Yeah, they are, actually. I'd say, let me have a rough guesstimate. I'd say they're probably about maybe 60 to 75% more than its counterpart, if you like. So for a petrol or diesel, I'd say about 60 to 75% more cost. So there is a second entry long there, but I don't like it. It's tempting, but it's right in the middle of that range, and we've got all this potential area to come back. So for me, it's a risk. It might work, but I think it's 50-50. I would not like to be in that trade. trouble is, it's right at the top of here. That one got stopped out. I wouldn't be shocked. It might work because it's on there, but if you're scalping for a point, it might work. But I think it's risky, personally. That's the trouble when you got a two-tiered channel and you're taking them in this top tier. And not only that, you're going long right in the middle. And if it does, it might trap some longs there. Because there is some liquidity here at 74, so it may drag that down and stop that out before it pushes higher. Yeah. It was a failure. Where was it? I forget what it was now. Yeah. Trouble is, because it's sideways here and because it's sideways at this top tier, there's all this room really for manoeuvre, especially. So that to me that's a failed second entry long. See, there may be a double trap. It may trap the longs and push up. Who knows? But it's 50-50 what that does, in my opinion. You've got going for you that it's on that midline, but we've got all this empty space here, see? And the liquidity down here, which is below there. So that keeps me out of that trade. So let's see if it comes down. If it does, bookmap save my ass again. Now, the reason I don't take that trade is I've taken them so many times. It may work, but because we're really at the top of the channel now, there's going to have a lack of buyers there, I think. There's not much room to go to the highs, and we're right at the top. But it could go either way there. 50-50. Sunnier. Tesla sell stop loss. There you go. If anyone is interested in a stock, Tesla. Now, from what I know, these two, Sania and Harjit, know what they're talking about. So if you are looking at Tesla, there's your sell stop loss stuff. There you go. I don't touch stocks so much at the moment. Cryptos I do, but not so much in the way of stocks. That's going to stop that out almost definitely. Especially with this liquidity so close. There we go. So if you took that second entry long, and a lot would, because it's at the bottom of the range and it's above the EMA, but the trouble is, because it's in this top section of this sort of two-tiered channel, it just makes it that extra shitty, for want of a better word. So I only really want to be taking my longs over here, especially as I'm up. I'm extra cautious, especially after missing that. I knew they were talking about. Yeah, Salia and Harjit are experienced traders. They do know what they're talking about, actually. And just Harjit has told us to go short 4 times now. And not only did they go short, but they went a minimum of 4.5 points on all 4 of them. Excuse me a second. Sorry. Okie doke. Right, now there is some liquidity. There is some at 84, and there's also some at 81 there, which might mean it drops out the bottom a tad. It's hard to say, but this channel fits lovely. I'm not even going to bother going over to max. They don't fit any better than that. A bunch of times there, touch there, touch there, touch, 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 touch. So these are the areas just to be concerned about. 84 and 81. Okay, I'm just going to take a quick 5-minute break, folks. My wife's just turned out. I'm going to make myself a cup of tea. I'm going to have a pee, and I will be back. 5 minutes. Okay, what did I miss? Yeah, still a bit congested, that, isn't it? Let's move that out of the way now. There we go. Touch, 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 touch. Okay. Maybe there. Okay. Market frustrating, short positions badly. Yeah, I'm not getting involved until we come back to this side, really. I'm guessing that it may just continue sideways. But the strong liquidity is here. And above that, that's sort of where it finishes. So if there's longs here, that's probably where profits are going to be taken, which would make sense, wouldn't it? But look at that one. That would have been nice. ATR is low, so profits aren't as big as you would think. Yeah, I mean, all that move like that, it's not quite, well, it's 8 points, that whole move. On other days, you might get 12, 14 points out of that distance, but nice channel there. To be honest with you, market looks kind of nice today. It's clearly ranging and it's clearly working nicely off there. So if you did take any trades there, maybe, I don't know if you took that one or you maybe took that one, or even that one would have worked, or that one, they'd have all worked. It's clearly working quite nice. What I mean is it's working in a nice area. Doesn't often do that. So many days you get one up here, one down here, but look at that. It's literally nothing's closed above that line. It's working beautifully. And then we have this bit of a spike and a nice, neat looking channel. The last few days, some of the channels have been a little bit harder to read. But that's kind of nice. Works beautifully here. Perfect there. Perfect there. And the tops are as good, or if not better than the bottoms. So we know our areas of liquidity. There's one here. And there's some here. So depending on where it gets down to. And this is likely where it's going to push up to. So I'm going to finish early today. I think I'm going to finish, let's give it about another 20, 30 minutes. Beautiful out here. So we got some nice big jacket potatoes cooked, and we'll have a nice big salad with some halloumi. And sit outside with a glass of wine, I think. Wife's birthday on Saturday, so I'll have an early little drink. Yeah, clearly doing what I thought. I think we'll come here until we get a decent signal. But trouble is, I think what we might do is it's probably going to do something like this. EMA is going to curve, and then we'll probably catch it as we push up through it here for a higher low. Trouble is, that's below it, and you just don't know there, do you? But Working on observing my rules. Done by 11:30 Standard Time. 2 solid hours, then done. Cheers, lads, and all best of luck. Excellent. Cheers, Chris. You have a good evening, mate. Good on you. Following rules is important, especially following time constraint rules as well. That's the trouble with trading. You can get a little bit too excited and it can suck you in a little bit and you can trade a little bit too more. So if you can stick to 2 hours or 3 hours or an hour and a half or whatever you do religiously, I think that's good practice. Okay, that liquidity is at 290. Looks like we're going to push off and bounced on it. What would we do without bookmap, eh? Big sell orders at 290. More tick. Now push through. They're still there. There we go. There they go. Starting to go, starting to go. Missed them again. Go on, push through again. Probably push up to 91 actually, I'm guessing. Yeah, trouble is no real setup there. You may have took one of those. But trouble is not much room to the highs there. But if you know the liquidity is there, you'd have certainly got a couple of points out of it. But apart from that, there wasn't really anything there, was there? There was a second entry long there, but the trouble is it's congested and we are in this side of the channel, and you know what it can do in some cases, continue sideways, and that obviously was, you know, it triggered a few ticks and then came down and stopped you out. So just looks dangerous, that does. Okay, that liquidity is still there. Some will have sold before, but I'm guessing because it's there, it's still likely to pull up. It does that, it comes up, closes just before, because obviously some will get out just before the big lump sum of people, but there's nearly 500 orders there, just under 450, 460 orders, so it'll do that a lot of times, push up, come back a little bit, and then smash straight through it. It's hard, it's still short from 42.80. I doubt it. Where did he say that? Was it there? Where did Hardy? Oh, did he say short from there? I think he did, didn't he? No, he won't. He won't be looking for that much and have his stop up here. He'll be out of there by now. Yeah, it's still there. A little bit of a pullback and then we'll push straight through that. So there's some at 90. There is a bit starting to form at 95 and a little bit further up. So it may, there's a lot at 90. So it may then come down to around about here and then push up some more. Yeah, there's loads of buy orders all around this area. So I think them thinking it's going up higher. If you're going to buy in something like this, this is the area you want to do it, isn't it? But the strongest liquidity is at 290 still. So if it does come back here, I expect it to smash through that. Okay, so we've got a new low here. Try go low once. There's a failure there. No, I do expect it to hit that. Trouble is, I'm not a fan of taking it there because it may go like that. Because I'm aware there is some liquidity around there. So if it does do that, it may touch that. That's why I can't take that. Not only that, it's a short-term trend channel break. And we may get a new low around that midline. So tempting, but not tempting enough. You got out at 4277. Yeah. Where did you get in? Was it here something? 277 down here. 77 down here somewhere. That was where you were. That was your order, wasn't it? So you got out at 77. Yeah, 77. So what did you do? You'd have got 2.5 points, something like that, I'm guessing. Depending on where you bought. 2.5 points in the bag. Points are points. Measured move from your earliest range is at 91. Measured move. There did you go. Let's go there. I don't know where you've gone from there. It's usually the biggest pullback, isn't it? Is that's your biggest pullback? So personally, let me have a look. Go from here. I would say that's the biggest. Let me have a look. Where's the liquidity? 98 up here. So you could do it a bunch of ways there, really. You could sort of do it there. But then really, the correct place to do it is at the bottom of the initial push. You could put it there. It's hard to say there, really. Sometimes they're a bit tricky to work out. So you could put it from there to there. But it sort of pushes from the top and stays at the top. So I'll probably put it from there, and there's like a two-legged correction, which that's the biggest move between the top where the first leg ends and the bottom where the second leg starts. So it's hard to say, really. Sometimes they're not that clear. Sometimes they're easy. Sometimes they're a little bit tricky, but you could put it there. I would probably tend to put it there. I might be wrong there. I may be wrong. I've been known to be wrong once in around about 1990. Yeah, possibly here. So let's say 94. Let's get rid of it. Put a 94. So we've got liquidity around about there. So 94. Let's stick it around about there. So that's roughly where, if it's from here. But you could do it from a bunch of different ways. People might do it. You might do it from there and then to there. It's hard to say. I am short now from 4288, but don't copy my trades, my own style, your own risk usually. Yeah, absolutely. So you're short from 4288 here. Yeah, I'd say that from what I can see, there's a fair chance we're going to push down to here. There is some liquidity here, and that looks like one leg down with a break, another leg down. There is liquidity there, but I think it's risky going from this line, so I think buyers are going to stay out until it gets somewhere around about here. So yeah, so I'd say leg, break, leg. There's nothing to buy there anyway, really, so I can't see buyers being interested in that. That's not to say it won't go up, but I would say, from what I can see, it makes sense if we get a leg and then a leg, which is taking us to around about here somewhere, which, depending on where it finishes, is around about the bottom of the range or thereabouts, and it may push out and catch this liquidity here. In fact, there's some liquidity popping up around about the 4286, 4287, so around about here. 428, yeah. Well, strangely enough, is right where that measured leg is. So with that liquidity area here, where is it? Where is it? Yeah, let's just move that chunk I saw, but somewhere around about here. So we may get a leg and a leg. So if Harjit's short there, I'd say there's certainly a 2.5, 3 points available there. Trouble is, there's nothing that looks interesting to buy, does it really? Push down, break. I'd expect a new low, quite possibly. So I think that's a natural area to come back. 86, 85. Yeah, there's liquidity. Let's put it in the middle. 86 and 85. There's 85. Let's put it around about here, which is where this measured leg is. And not just that, Harjit's stop might be up here, see, so it's clearly going a bit sideways, but interesting. Pam trading, price action record. Click on your range and click the right hand button. You will show how measured moves. Click on your range and click the right button. So click on the range or the show measured moves. Yeah, I know what you're saying. I just use the measured moves there, but yeah, I know what you mean. Does it work on there? Probably not. Or does it? Yeah, see, all our measured moves work differently, don't they, in this particular style? So I don't know how that would work. Oh yeah. Properties on the Arcade range. Click on measured move. I got you, yeah. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah, I know what you're saying. Trouble is, I don't know how these things work with some other. See, we have this thing with Mac, this measured move, one leg, and I've just done it back to there, because that's where that liquidity is feathered out a bit, but there is liquidity there, which is going to tell me we've got a leg break and a leg. So hard as it's short here would make sense. Doesn't work with our particular strategy because there's like 1, 2, 3, 4. Looks like there's 5 little bars going sideways there because there's probably some uncertainty. Are we pushing up now or are we going to come back? So usually if there's a mixed feelings between the buyers and sellers, it makes sense that we're just going to go sideways until, I don't know, one wins over. You're killing it, Harjit. Yeah. Well, that's what happens when you've done 20 odd years of trading. It just goes to show you, doesn't it? This is very slow going. Yeah, it is, because there's a little bit of uncertainty what we're doing. There's clearly liquidity up there, so I'd say from what I can see, we've clearly got more up stuff to go. But there's a leg and a break, so I think it's... I wouldn't want to go long here, along this area where I would be thinking about going long. See how this finishes. If it finishes bullish, then it may push straight to it, but I don't think it's going to. Yeah, look at that. Weird, isn't it? Oh, it's finishing. Is that right in the right place? It just doesn't get any. You know what I mean? Red, green, red. Yeah, I'd say it's likely going to come down. You're not going to want to buy there, are you? You're definitely not going to want to buy there. But with the liquidity in the bottom of the range down here, short's really your only option, isn't it? You're not going to buy there. Are you going to short there with that bar there? You may do one leg down sideways until we see a decent bar. That's as good as you're going to get to go short. I'd say it's only going to short there, personally. I mean, I might be wrong, but I wouldn't want to buy there. If I had to choose buy or sell there, it would be a sell. Because of it, 1, this measured leg, 2, to get back to this side of the channel, and 3, because I know that liquidity is there. And there is some here as well, so let's see what happens. We can have a little side bet, can't we? Oh, excuse me. Oh, excusey me. Well, if that finishes bullish, then that may get some interest. I don't think it's going to, though. No, another one of those. Be interested to see how many we get. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them so far. I remember seeing 10 or 12 finishing right in the same area at the top. Okay, yeah, there comes our other leg by the looks of things. If it breaks below the lows there. Let's have a look at some aggressive sellers coming in now. Yeah, I'd say at the moment the strongest liquidity is around about the 84, which is here. So we may get a break out of this. It may, see this, how it's working in here as well. It may break touch then. If it does, let's have a look. What else have we got? We've got some at 85, some at 84.75, and some at 84. So all around about here somewhere. Does it again? Yeah. Well, everyone he's mentioned have worked. You certainly got, 2 points out of that. No worries. Let's update his tally. Now, it's going to be interesting as it gets higher and higher, because at some point everyone's going to go, sod Mac, with all due respect. Arjit's the man. Arjit's here and Mac isn't. So there we go. He's on 5.50. He said short up here. What did he say? 89. There we go. 89, 2, 4, 6 points. Depending on whereabouts. She's certainly got 4 to 6 points. Now, let me have a look at that. That now would be there. That would be there. And that would be there. So that will be our measured move, which we've clearly made. I still want to get back to here, though. Taking a a long trade here is just risky, isn't it? Fib combined with volume profile. This is a value area high. Yeah. Nice to know people know what they're doing. That's what we all strive to get like, so we can read these markets like the back of our hand. Yeah, I still like that area to hit though. There's a large amount of liquidity there. But I'd like to see really hit bounce here. I'd like the EMA to curl down, and exactly the same as the curl down. Obviously, if we push down here, we're going to be below the EMA, but then push up higher low. So hopefully we get something like that again, and that'll take us up here. That would make sense. We're coming down quicker than the EMA, so we're going to end up doing something like this. See, I think, you know, even though a lot of us follow Mac, you'll find your own way of doing things. You'll adjust things or take trades that some others, depending on your own experience. That pattern I see so many times where we sort of push up and we get that little bit of sideways stuff. It almost always does a mirror image. Same, that's the one there. Push up, little bit of sideways at a slight angle, pushed up again. Look, mirror image. And I say this every day. And it's just finding a bar, and for me, that was the bar there. It was an inside bar, so I never did it. But look at it. Above there, bit of sideways, and off it goes. So you're going to notice patterns like that, I suppose, throughout our trading career. And, you know, the more you see them and the more they work, the more you'll start to take them. Trying to see Archie's chart. Well, he's at 5-0, so that's pretty good going. And, well, it doesn't get any better, does it? It'd be interesting to see, Nick, at what point do we all go screw Mac? Harjit's got 19 out of 20. Let's listen to him. The trouble is we're going to have to find out where he is then and isolate him. Have to lock him in a little room somewhere with a computer. I don't know why I pull that down. Look at that, look at that. It's like a keyboard, isn't it, almost? One leg down, two legs down. I still think I can't get in here. There's still more to come, in my opinion. Volume profile is the way to go. Is that similar to volume profile? Volume profile. Is that sort of like order flow, that type of thing? Well, judging by how many he's getting right now, I'd say target profit, I'd say probably, I don't know, $120,000, $200,000 a day, something like that. His strike rate's good. Whatever he says happens, so he's got to be doing well. I think he's probably somewhere in the brackets of owning his own island. I'd say something. Email me to snip in my chart. Nick wants to see your chart. Probably can completely confuse the likes of us. I think 41.81 will get retested, in my humble opinion. Not necessarily talking about today, are you, bud? Mind you, some days we get this, don't we? Some days we get it when it goes up and up and up and up and up, and you finish, and by the time you end up looking for the end of the day, it's down here somewhere. 41.81, you were way down here there. It does look like, in fact, let me have a look. Looks a bit like a camel, doesn't it? No, a giraffe with the sort of legs and the neck, and there's its pointy face. Yeah, it is very animal-like, isn't it? Perhaps that's what we've got to look for now. The ears up here. That's a good reason for me to go long. Looking for its ears. Okay, still can't get an ear. Nothing's here. Choppy, congested. In my opinion, we're going to come down here. Drag the EMA down here, then push above it. Anybody notice sometimes the book map goes fuzzy? I thought that might be internet, but if you click on settings, for some reason it drops down to 7020p. Click it back at 1080, it picks up again. Yeah. The liquidity is strong at 84. And then strong at 90. So, funnily enough, we're working between here and here, aren't we? Up, down. My problem this week has been forcing trades in this nasty chop. Do you know, Tyler, it's took me a long time to start to realise that I've just got to relax. You can only take what it gives you. The two trades today that I took or would have took, that one I missed. It doesn't look any better than that. Higher high, or higher low, whatever you want to call it. And that one again, two perfect measured legs. Nice big bearish bar to make a new low from there in a range. Now, some days you'll get two trades. Yesterday we got one trade, a second entry short. I left it. I wasn't quite a massive fan of it, although it worked really nice. But some days you don't get none. Sometimes you'll get three. But I'm just starting to learn that the only way it works is if you just give what the market takes you and nothing more. You force trades, your win rate goes down. You end up losing a lot more trades. Messes with your psyche. So for me, I've learnt the hard way. I've blown a ton of accounts, trying to bend the rules, trying to force trades, and I think my brain's slowly starting to realise it just does not work. Okay, so there was no real setup for us there, although from that nice big bullish bar it seemed to work, but that's picked out that liquidity now. See, before bookmap we wouldn't have had that red line, and look what happened. It pushed up there, didn't quite tick through it, and it has there. Look what bookmap's given us. It's given us targets. Volume profile I recommend FT71 and Mike Schwartz. Volume profile. I think volume profile is like isn't it order flow, isn't it? I think. Let me take a photo of that. Mike Schwartz. I always like to look at new traders or anybody. Sounds like they know what they're doing. Let me have a look. Let's have a look. Okay, photo taken. See, now it hit all those sell orders there. Look what's happened. There we go. So, now there is some at 91, 91.5 and 92. So around about here. So, this is a bit of a, it's a double top there. So, look that. So, we've pushed up and up and up. Maybe one attempt to go lower, another attempt to go lower. So if we come back here, then I would say we're probably likely going to make some more stuff, some more upwards stuff. Feels like with Apex payout rules, it messes with me. So I feel like I need to trade at least one a day to get the payouts 10-day rule. What you can do, Tyler, is just trade one micro. Okay, and you're risking losing $1 or $2 or winning $1 or $2. Still counts as a day though. Yeah, sorry, you've got that problem with yeah, I mean what you can do is just trade one contract and just trade a tick maybe. That way you may lose $12, $13, you may win $12 or $13, but if it gets you over the line, if it's important to you, you know. Now, this is a hard game to play, but you will get there. Absolutely. Good advice. I've had to tell myself enough times, but you can't go from being from zero to being a great trader and earning a shed load of money. It just, you just brain won't allow it. But it's like everything in life. You know, you can't earn the sort of money you're in trading without a lot of hard work. If it was that easy, everyone would be doing it. I kind of like the fact that it is tough, because when I do start earning decent money, I'll have bloody well earned it. But yeah, like Arjit said, just don't give up. You know, Max says this is like learning a language. You can't learn a language overnight, but learning to read a chart is, you know, is a language in its sense, isn't it? But I kind of like it. I do feel like I'm making progress. Good progress lately, I do. Okay, so we hit the massive sell orders up there, which were partly maybe sellers or partly maybe taking profits, buyers taking profits from maybe here or further down or whatever. But remember I said that that seems to be the top line. That was the strongest liquidity, and funnily enough, it's hit there and come down strongly. So that makes sense. So, you know, having Bookmap is definitely a step up the ladder. It really is. So, liquidity at 84. So now let's see if more's going to grow up here. Not as much. There's a lot of buy orders around about the 84 and just above, so maybe one leg down, two legs down. We're going to push up some more. Got my butt handed to me. I've had my ass handed to me on a plate once or twice, I'm going to say. It's all part of the trip, isn't it? But yeah. I'm going to say I do like trading futures. I love just having one chart, because when I started with currency. Anybody who's traded currency, you've got bloody screens everywhere. Little boxes here, different currency pairs, the 6 major currency pairs. There are however many other minor currency pairs. I had a screen where I had what do they call it? Some bit of software that picks out strong currencies against weak currencies, so you can find a trend. And then I had about whatever trades I was looking at on different currency pairs, and then I was trading on an hour time frame, and I had another chart with the 4-hour anchor chart. I just had screens everywhere. You spent most of your time searching for stuff, but this I just love. One chart, one time frame, that's it. Sit and watch this and that's it. See a trade, take it, done. Okay, short-term trend channel. Now, look back. So, liquidity 84, buy orders 84. Maybe taking profits from that short. $4281 will be tested. 4281. That is. Yeah, there is some liquidity down there. So this is where this is. So maybe we get a leg break and another leg. Around, yeah, it's the strong at 80, some at 81. So it may even definitely push through this. You took the 288 short up here. Yeah, it's just risk. Well, if you know what you're doing, I suppose, depending on what you're doing. TPK. Okay, hard. I'll blindly follow you now. That's the trouble when you find someone who really knows what they're doing and they're telling you where to go. Yeah. But fair dues to him, though. He does say at your own risk, which is, it's important to say. But yeah, I'm starting to become a believer as well. Yeah. You were long today. Well, you made the right decision, depending on where you went long. Nice channel that for a change. Yesterday, there was some awkward. I spent ages fanning around trying to get this one channel. Then I realised Mac didn't draw it, and that was for good reason, because it just wouldn't fit. But it don't fit any better than that, does it? It's working beautifully there. Okay, so leg, break, leg. So depending on where that goes to, that'll take us down to around about the. See where that goes. Let's put that there for now. Leg. So yeah, it looks like we're going to have a break. We clearly had a break anyway, but I'd say we're going to have another push down before then we move higher. So if we can get down here and then start working up, then maybe we're going to break these highs. Let's have a look. 90 is the strongest liquidity I can see now, so maybe we're going to have another crack at this, I'd say. Yeah, the strongest liquidity. Actually, do you know something? See, there is more down here as well. Stronger 80, 81. So I'd say it's likely probably going to smash through this, isn't it? So we got one leg down, and funnily enough, depending on where that leg is, it's going to take us down here. Maybe it's at a break. Maybe it's going to make a new high and then start working down, because there's a lot of liquidity. It'd be interesting to see that. I'm surprised it's pushed up that strongly. And it ain't going to go far now to make a new high. So that we've had a break of the channel and a new high in one swift move. And if that's the case, the liquidity down here, we may then start working down. The up stuff might be done. Interesting. Let's see if it does break this high. Get some consolidation. I'm going to be true. By the looks of that, that's just sliced straight through that EMA, and we're literally a point away from the new high of the day. So aggressive buyers are double that of the sellers at the moment. So I would say there's a good chance that's going to push up there. It might trigger below, or it might not. See what happens there. I think that's short, although it's sort of, yeah, I think that's going to push up above it. I might be wrong. Maybe not. No, it's hard to say. We're quite close to it. One leg, two legs. You'd think we'd have another leg down, wouldn't you? Liquidity is stronger here, but there's some strong liquidity at 86. Let's hope trading is going well. How do you have separate windows showing your account you are trading? It's going well. How do you have a separate window that shows your account you are trading? How do I have it? You know about these windows down here? All these are, mate, is if you get your normal window trade, your normal Ninja Trader, and just right click and click duplicate window, you can either get rid of, you can add accounts, positions, strategies, executions, orders. And all I have these for is because I'm trading multiple accounts with a trade copier. On the odd occasion, one can trigger and another can't, another might not. So all I do in that case is just have these windows down with my orders and positions, that if after a trade is triggered, whether it's been stopped out or a take profit, I just make sure there's nothing in any of these boxes, and if there is, I can click cancel all orders for orders, or flatten everything, which is any positions, just in case market moves quick and triggers one and doesn't trigger another. But if you go into your Ninja Trader screen and then just right click and click duplicate window, and you can just add these or take them away. I hope that helps. Okay, so leg down, 86 liquidity, so it may come down and push higher. Could be a leg. That may push up. Let me have a look. No, liquidity is down here at 81. It's drying up around here. So prices move to the closest level of liquidity. Taking into consideration aggressive buyers and sellers. Funnily, how it's closed right on that line. So it may not come down here yet. I'm a bit on the fence there. Yeah, you'll get the hang of it, mate. Once you get one up here, you can just add these. But I have an orders and a positions one just in case. If you trade the one account, you don't need it. But just in case one of the accounts trigger and one doesn't. And I've had that a few times. Not a lot, but all I'll do is when the trade closes, whether it stops you out or takes profit, I just make sure there's nothing in either one of those, and it just keeps out there. You can move these around, put them where you like, but I just have them at the bottom there. Anything left when a trade closes, I just either cancel all or flatten everything that one there, and that gets rid of it all. Okay, I think we're going to push up now to this liquidity here, 90. I might be wrong, but as Harjit says, there is this area. There is strong liquidity down here, 80 as well, but it may make a new high before it comes down. We've had a break. If it does make a new high, then it might just pick these areas up on its way down. Or if it does come down and hit these areas, it is a possibility that this may turn into something a bit bigger like that, I suppose. But the liquidity is really strong in these two areas here. So I don't know what's going on here. Don't know whether we're going to push up. We've got a leg, a couple of legs back. We may have another leg, or it might come down. I'm not sure really. But it did push up really strongly. It just sliced through that EMA, so it may. Yeah, it's literally a point and a half, point and three quarters about away from making a new high. Then that channel then is played out. Could be a leg and a leg, or it could be a leg up, leg down. It's hard to say, but I'd say from what I'm seeing, it's probably going to push up and come down. Hey man, just joined. Arjit got 5 successful trades. Yeah, 2 today, 3 yesterday. But keep watching that. We're going to tally him up over the next 12 months. And then we're going to have to abduct him and lock him in an office somewhere. And we'll all gather around him and copy him. But the more that goes up, the more valuable he becomes, the more we need to start getting a private detective on him and find out where he is. I know he's in the UK, so you can leave that down to me. Okay, from what I'm seeing here, it's probably going to make a new high before it comes down again. Yeah, I think we're going to see a high of the day now. 3 nice bullish-ish bars in a row. Oh, I'm 2 subscribers off 1,000. Unbelievable. Who would have guessed? Little old me. That's when I can start making about £15 a month from YouTube. Okay, come on, do something. It's going sideways, isn't it? Fun enough, we've had a break and it has respected, as we've pushed in, it has respected the inside of this channel. So for me, just where it is, it's not a tradable trade for us, is it? But for me, I'd say it's got the legs to make a new high, to push that liquidity. That liquidity is there, some more liquidity again. So one leg up, break, another leg up. Makes sense. May come down and make a failure and then push up, but that's definitely the target. But there is liquidity down here. But just how we are at the moment, I can't see it coming all the way down here first. What it probably do, I'd say, is break this area and then do this, come down then and maybe start working down. I'll sub from my 2 other accounts. Cool. 1,000 subscribers, who'd have guessed? Oh, 99. Oh, 999 subscribers. Hurry up, that's bad luck. I appreciate all the guys that have subscribed, actually. YouTube isn't my thing. You're never going to make a lot of money out of YouTube, but it is a great platform to mix with other traders and to make myself accountable, and it helps me, and it has helped me. And it just gets me to know some great people who've got the same interest as me. It's a great business to be in. It's a tough business, but if you've got lots of trader, but 1,000 subscribers, thanks for that. Who's ever's just let me have a look. I want to say your name, I don't want to mess it up. Al-Harith? I think so. I'll sub from my 2 other accounts. I think you've just done that. I appreciate that. Whoever's hit that last one, it's much appreciated. That's a nice achievement, that. Just the fact that people are interested enough to watch me is a bigger achievement. You're never going to make a lot of money on YouTube unless you've got hundreds of thousands of viewers, but that's not the point. It's just nice to mix with a bunch of other like-minded people who've got the same warped mind. A Shropshire lad, that's me. A Shropshire lad. Who's that then? Rothable. Who's that? How do you know I'm a Shropshire lad? I'll give you a profit to take out. Dr. Linney, congrats. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thanks very much. I think I'm just going to let this push up, and then I'm going to knock it on the head for the day then. And we'll come back. It's Friday tomorrow, isn't it? Unbelievable. Another week. Let it soon be Christmas. What I might do for Christmas, thank you, Sam, I appreciate it. What I might do for Christmas is just get a little bit of Christmas music in the background, I think. I'm planning Christmas already. This will be my Christmas. This, hopefully, a lot of you guys as well. We've all worked hard. We've all, traded every day and gone through all the shit. And I feel now I've hit the bottom, and I'm moving up. I do feel that, and I've mentioned that a few times before, but I've lost that urge to jump in as much. I'm quite happy sitting, chit-chatting and patient. Thanks, Sam. Thanks, Dr. Linney. I appreciate that. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to Christmas. Remember to roll to new contract. Is it tomorrow, Monday? In fact, I opened the chart a couple of days ago, and it was really quiet, so I did flick over, thinking we might have missed it. So let's have a look. There we go. There's that liquidity. So, beautiful. So, if you've got any doubt that Bookmap is a real help in our style of trading, there we go. 3 times I've said where it's going to go, and it's gone. That's purely and simply because I've got Bookmap above my head. So it's not, it's not a golden bullet, but it's bloody close to it. So that's just done exactly what it's supposed to. So I'm guessing now there is still liquidity higher, but I think we're probably going to maybe move down to this area that Harjit mentioned. Got my target for 2 points. Good for you, Ace Trader. Good for you. But yeah, look, it was doing what it was supposed to. Unfortunately, for me, there wasn't. Trouble is, I tend to go a bit extra cautious when I'm a trade up. I'm a bit annoyed that I missed that, but there we go. 2 for 2. Good for you, mate. That's a nice number, that. If you can get 2 good trades, especially in today's markets, I think you're on a winner. And that will make you a lot of money. 2 trades a day, 10 trades a week. Even if you lose 2 and win 8 of them, you're laughing. So that's it for today, folks. I'm going to knock it on the head now. I'm going to go and have my tea. And I'm going to go and have a drink in the garden. So happy birthday again, Nick. Hope you have a good evening, mate. I hope you get lots of prezzies. And I appreciate all your comments. So I've hit 1,000 subscribers live on the stream. So that's fantastic. So all the guys that have helped me, supported me, subscribed to me, and just commented day by day and sent me supportive messages, you've really helped me, and I hope I've helped you guys in the same way. Just to see me doing this and going through this, I hope it helps you. So at the end of the day, we're all in this together. We're all got the same goal. We've all got the same twisted, warped mind that you require to be a trader. It's hard, tough work, but you're all here and I'm still here. So hopefully we're going to be here for many more months and years to come, making money, helping each other, supporting each other. Thanks for all you do. I appreciate it, mate. Thanks for you guys. You guys keep me company here. You sit there and hit me with supportive messages and comments and ideas, and we all help each other. So have a great evening, guys. Stay safe. Thanks for all your comments and all your subscriptions. It's great. It really is. I'm really pleased. And I've ended on a nice green day. I hope you guys have today. It's not been a bad day today. There's been 2 great setups. Unfortunately, I missed one, but I think a bunch of you guys got in there. So onwards and upwards. Couldn't have said that better myself. So have a great evening. Stay safe as always, and we'll meet up again and do it all again tomorrow. Okay? Take care.